So what we'd like to do now, we've looked at the inclusive education toolkit we have, developed in another project, based on universal design for learning, so that you can support all students, whether they have a learning cognitive impairment such as dyslexia, have some sensory or physical impairments such as low vision, hearing and mobility impairment. We're also looking at mental health issues. Do your students have anxiety? And we can use all of that to support all students to create equal access to higher education and training and vocational education using our inclusive education toolkit, and build your capacity over the year with a number of training events, face-to-face and online over the year. But first of all, we'd like to understand from you the kind of digital tools that you have available for you. What kind of content management systems you might use to produce any kind of digital training materials, if indeed you do that. We're going to look at other things such as whether you've already used different platforms to produce, to put your digital training on, whether you're aware of any of the guidelines to produce accessible digital training materials as a starting point, so we can understand how to present all the courses we have on inclusive education to you, so you can make maximum impact to reduce the barriers to access for these students who have a range of cognitive and physical impairments, or come from more challenged backgrounds. Remembering, as we said, everything we do is free for use, all the tools, open source. But first of all, we want to do an interactive exercise to understand the current position here in your institutions, so we can use that to best tailor our interventions for you. So we're going to do an interactive exercise. Mufti, would you like to?
So just to again reiterate what just David said, that our focus here is to understand the current barriers that are in Bangladesh. The results that have been presented by Professor Saiful Islam and Professor Shamim Kaisar, they have been done to understand the overall situation, but this is something which has been done quite some time ago, okay? So we would like to update ourselves. We would like to understand that what is the current status, and what, in your expert opinion, are the challenges that are currently prevailing in the higher education sector in Bangladesh. The different universities, what are the accessibility challenges that they are facing, okay? Because, well, when this survey, the results that have been presented as a part of the survey that we did, generative AI was not actually the thing at that time, okay? So now that we have generative AI and other tools that have been made available for the students to use, and they have become so much accessible that in all the aspects they are being heavily used. So we would like to really understand that what new challenges actually these kind of tools bring, okay? And what are the things that we probably need to address and let's say reorient ourselves a little bit to address those specific challenges. Okay, so we have some interactive exercises prepared by Dr. Arif, and then we will go one by one, and you need to have your mobile device with you, okay? So if you can have your cell phone, there will be a QR code, you can scan the QR code, that will take you to the question, okay? And after going to the question, you can freely provide your input to those questions.
And in real time, we'll visualize the results you're producing to us, so we can all get a collective understanding of the current conditions, opportunities and limitations. Yeah, and I'll get out of the way when you take a picture of the QR.
Yes, we will like to, all of your contribution will be expected here, because it's going to be invaluable for us to move forward with this project. Okay, it's going to be a little bit time consuming, but we will try to wrap it up by the lunchtime, all right? So, but this is something really important for us to move forward.
So we have around 15 minutes so to do this exercise till lunch, which is at 1:45, okay? So you can scan
So
the
the
code.
reward is lunch.
And then let's get started.
Yeah.
Right, so
First of all, is that
it will come gradually. Okay, so there will be a little bit of lagging here because it's interactive. So we might have to wait a bit. All right. So these questions should be in your phone now.
Should we read out one at a time, take it in turn? So we want to, first of all, the first question is understand about your higher education or training and vocational center. So, does your education institution work with people with special needs? Are you a vocational school, students under 18? Are you a high school? Are you working in a university, higher education? University of Applied Scientists or something else? So please go ahead and vote.
Okay,
So all the technological, just 1 second, all the technological universities, because in Bangladesh we have got a range of technological universities, okay? So they will come under the University of Applied Sciences. Okay, so for example, if someone is from the University of Engineering and Technology, that is something which will come under the University of Applied Sciences.
Okay, so I think we are missing some of our participants because I can see 29 of us are logged in here, and so far 24 has been voted. So can I request you, if you are vote, you can just go to this link, vvox.app, and this is the code that you can join.
So Arif out to the team is the one who develops all the instruction materials. So. We're up to 27. You're doing well. Nearly there. Boom. Now we've done 31 out of 30.
Okay, there was 32 people. Now, okay, so now we can move forward. Okay, so it's preparing the result. Let's see how we got the result. All right.
Okay.
I would like to add a little bit here, like this is an interactive, so we'll have an idea about how we are demographically or distributed in different portions. So, but this is going to be saved in our database as well. So we're going to use later for our further
Starting conditions for our research. So we can see already universities at 56%, University of Applied Sciences 33%, some others. Some educational centres, 3% for people with special needs. So, okay, next question, I think. Move on.
Yes.
And Mufti's going to read out this one.
Now this is, you need to provide your affiliation, okay, to which educational organization you are affiliated to. So this is something which is related to the form that you had filled, okay. So please do write the same information you provided in the form. Okay? Little bit of your patience will be really appreciated because this is a real-time activity, so there will be a little bit of lagging, okay? So if you do not see your response immediately, please be a little bit patient with us.
Well, it's a great way for the starting conditions of this project, so we know everything about you. Rather than saying, go away and fill in the survey, you know, I don't want to do that. Doing it here would be a great way for us to understand everybody here in our expanded network. So what we can do is optimally spend the next year tuning already existing resources and adding new elements so that the Inclusive Educational Toolkit and the tools are going to best help you on board and welcome people with a range of challenges into your institution.
Oh, we're waiting for four more people to complete.
30 jobs, 32.
Okay, let's move
We're
forward
going
then.
to schools on the doors. Okay.
Yeah, so we can see the name of the university that we have. Okay, so
World University, Bangladesh University of Engineering Technology.
Well, there's 17 more.
yes, we have 17 more. So that's really interesting because we have managed to cover a good range of university here. And thanks to the organizer who managed to bring these participants.
No, that's great. We have
That's
such a
really-
good representation
Yeah.
today. Okay. Number of staff. Now this might be difficult. I wasn't sure. When I looked at this question last night, I didn't actually know how many members of staff I have at my university. So this one does give you a choice if you don't know.
Yeah, just approximate number should be fine, all right? So we are not expecting the exact number.
So the basic idea of this question is actually to understand that whether you come from a large university or a small university, so that we can understand what are the needs of the students of the university, okay?
This
So it,
staff means academic staff?
academic staff.
Academic stuff.
Only academic stuff?
Yes.
Well, it should be proportionate, right? Because, well, that's why if you have entered something different, that's absolutely fine.
So why that's and one of the pertinent issues here is if you have a small number of staff compared to your high number of students, then how can you really attend to the need of students who have special needs? Now, technology can help though. And I want to say that technology can never replace a real teacher. I had to brief one of the ministers from the British government on the use of AI in education, and they seem more interested whether AI could make teaching more efficient and higher education. And as what I'm trying to say to them, it can make teaching more effective, but we never expect AI to replace teachers, but to augment their practice.
Okay, so we got 33 answers. 34, yeah. Okay, we can move forward now. Yeah, so
That's really very nice to see that here we have quite a wide distribution of the participants. That's really good. So we can see that there is a mean of 695. So mostly the faculty members that we see are present in this session are coming from medium-sized universities. Yes.
okay. Next question. Number of students.
Which will help us understand already the challenges you face. And if it makes you feel any better, this is a number which is increasing. The ratio of staff to students is increasing in the UK too, because we come under financial pressures due to a range of issues that we have to take on more students to make the funding mechanism work in the UK and higher education.
25,000 হ্যাঁ মাস্টার্স নিয়ে
কোন ইউনিভার্সিটি? কম। ওখানে দাঁড়াইতে পারলে তো হয়েছে।
250 কোটি দাঁড়ানোর জায়গার অভাব না আমাদের তো ঠিক তোমার 700 কোটি
I can see some senior members of staff here asking how many students.
পানি আর গাছ। জাহিনুর বলতো যে জাহিনুর 700 আমার কাছে পানি আর গাছ ছাড়া কিছুই নেই ওখানে।
গাছও করতে দিব না
Okay, so we got the answer. I think 35 participants out of 36 already gave the answer, so we can see what's the outcome.
Great. So a mean of around 12,500 students, which is quite a good number.
Yeah, it's a big number, yeah.
Now, as you can see that while in the previous one we saw that the number of staffs are around 700. So if 700 faculty members are dealing with 12,500 students, that's actually quite a high number to deal with.
I thought you can do the maths there in real
Yeah.
time, but
Yes. Okay.
So the teacher to student ratio is quite high, and as you can appreciate that providing personalized attention or personalized
is this a total number, an absolute number?
personalized feedback to the students becomes difficult in those cases.
Is that a total number?
So, I'm sorry, I think I need to give little bit of explanation for this one. This answer is in percentage. Okay, so we are expecting the answer in percentage. Approximately how many students at your education institution have learning disabilities? So this scale is in percent.
So can I ask for a
So we have to
clarification?
calculate, right? You have to calculate.
I mean,
Just an approximation.
Yeah.
So, Arif, when you say learning, is what you mean learning difficulties like dyslexia?
Also.
Or physical and, okay.
Also,
So
special
what,
students.
what we mean by this question is, what percentage roughly, and it's not exact science, but as members of faculty staff, what percentage of your students might have a learning difficulty such as dyslexia or dysgraphia, or have a physical or a sensory impairment? Students with low vision, a hearing impairment, a mobility impairment, and also what percentage of your students might come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds? Put that all together just as an estimate. So last night, me and Arif, in the UK at our university, we approximated this exactly the same at around 5%. It's not exact science, just so your perception.
Yeah.
It's an approximation.
Approximately.
So just if you can round it to the nearest integer, yeah?
So all the people with a learning difficulty, dyslexia, or low vision, hearing impairments, a mobility impairment, wheelchair walking stick, put that all together and just give us an approximation of that percentage of the total population. It could be nothing to whatever percentage.
Absolutely. Well, we understand that some of the organizations in Bangladesh actually right now do not have any students with disabilities. So if that is the case, please do indicate that as well. So put 0, because well, you know that there are no students with disabilities, for example. So as Professor Sarul Islam mentioned during his presentation, that for example at BUET there are no students with disability, with learning disabilities when they have been admitted to the university. So in that particular case, for example, you can put the number as 0.
And remember, I think dyslexia.
Unofficially, there is some maybe less eyesight.
Vision, yes.
Yeah. So it includes everything. And remember, dyslexia is a learning difficulty, not affected by IQ, but the way that students might read text.
Okay, so let's
see. We're never getting that. Okay. Wow. So we've got.
yeah, maybe
Let's keep the answers for that. We might, can we identify later on who gave the answer?
We cannot here because this is a request. So maybe we'll have to request. So especially we can see that there is 125 and 120. So we would request whoever has entered these numbers.
If you want to.
Yeah, if you want to, please. I mean, we would like to have some more conversation with the people from that particular university, because it is very important with such a high number of students with
High percentage.
exactly high percentage of students with disabilities, to check that how can the technologies that we have can facilitate those students. Okay. Okay, so the ones who have entered those numbers, please, if you want to, after the session, come and identify yourself.
Or now,
to us.
if you wanted to, but if you don't want to, you can do it later on and just talk to us.
Okay, so I think we can keep it for later time.
Keep it later, yeah, that's right. So, this is a question that Aaron wrote last night. Is what I think it's, for me, I went, ooh, when I saw the question, but let's tackle it. Does your educational institution tend to exclude students with disabilities? Again, things like dyslexia, movement impairments, hearing impairments, vision impairments, or students from less privileged or economically disadvantaged backgrounds. Do they tend not to enter your university? It might not be an institutional policy, it might just be something you don't tend to do. Again, answers will be anonymous. There's no way anybody externally can identify your question, like senior management teachers.
Or also, well, possibly your institution does not have a policy to incorporate or to facilitate students with disabilities. You know, well, in that particular case also, it is something which has not been considered, so you can mention that, okay? So, we would like to actually understand that what is the current status at the institutional policy level as well.
Yeah. So we're nearly there, unless somebody's not wanting to answer.
Okay, let's prepare that.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. So the majority is saying no, 65%. There isn't.
Positive side.
It's positive, very positive. Some people don't have the information, which is interesting, and that's something else, which is another barrier. If staff don't have the information, that in itself, that lack of information, is a barrier to including students. Yeah. A very interesting picture, thank you.
Yep.
Because awareness is something which is very important. You know that a lot of barriers can simply be overcome with information.
Next question, just about your position at university, again. Just so we understand, we can relate your answers to your questions, to your position. We have a few profs here, some associate profs, senior lecturers, associate lecturers, researcher, doctoral student, or some esteemed professors.
Say it again.
What about assistant professor?
Oh, yes, so I think this is equivalent to senior lecturer. Sorry for this, assistant professor term. You can, because there is a little bit variation in the UK and here. So
Senior lecturer can be assistant professor.
yeah, you can
go to associate professor.
You can go for this criteria as well, like PhD and 5 years of academic year.
It's not exact, it's just...
It's an approximation, all right? So
It's trying to understand that, well, how long you have been with the academia, okay? And what is your experience with the academia?
So we are more focused on this side, like how long you were in teaching, okay? Instead of just a designation.
Okay. So we're doing quite well, we're nearly there.
35 years.
Okay, there's a good spread. That's good. We have a great representation across the board of staff at different levels of career development. So that's a very positive thing for the project.
Okay, so next question.
Okay, you might prefer not to answer this one.
Well, it's anonymous, so
It is a range.
it's a range.
Don't worry, Arif made me put my age in last night. Pretended not to say that.
There is no underage in the range. Sorry. Sorry.
হয়েছে এখানে
আসবে নেক্সট
Overseas, yes.
How we do?
34 or 37, not bad.
On the contrary, David, you see that many more people would like to answer the the highest number of participants.
পার্টিসিপেন্ট ভেরি গুড এটা কেন হচ্ছে না বুঝলাম পার্টিসিপেন্ট কখন 30 হচ্ছে 32
Because it is changing
Okay,
slowly,
here we go.
you know, the point they're moving to the next question.
Okay, so 35 out of 35 has done, so we can move forward. And it's preparing the result.
That's also very good.
Yes, a really nice even spread of different levels of experience working in higher education and training.
Left skewed curve, the distribution, which is good. So
Yeah.
we have many more younger people.
Yes, yes, exactly. That is very positive.
Yeah, this
In terms of the ones you'll be delivering, training materials which are inclusively designed in your practice more regularly than some of the older props. It's very important that you're aware of how you design training materials to welcome all students. Right, next question.
okay, this is straightforward.
Remember, part of our project is Athena Swan. We're looking at recognizing and awarding research institutions, universities, training centers, which really promote gender equality. It's very important for the project.
And having seen in the audience, you know that well, we can already see that there is an underrepresentation of the female faculty members also in this workshop. So that is something where I think that there is a lot of space to work on.
Sure. It's, we've said throughout the project, we'll provide adjustments where we can all the way through to ensure there's equal representation of female members of staff in training, in the co-design workshops, in the impact activities.
The result is here, David.
Okay, as Mufti said, this is something for us to address. Next question. We're looking especially at sometimes rural isolation or sometimes students trying to enter higher educational training from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. So which kind of areas might you come from? A capital city, a large city, a small town, a village.
I strongly disagree.
Okay, so I think we can prepare the outcome.
Okay. I guess lots of people are coming from Dhaka here today, around 50%, but we have some people from out of town.
Yeah, okay.
again, this is something for us to address. We want this to be a national initiative. And we may hold other events that we do online. So if people can't travel into Dhaka or to local areas, let's have some of the training and co-design sessions online, which is already planned. So more people can attend and we get their views. Okay. Are there, just yes or no, I don't know, are there inclusive policy guidelines in my institution that you're aware of? Are there positive guidelines about onboarding and maintaining students in higher educational training and vocational education that you're aware of? These might be quotas, these might be accessible buildings, these might be, this is how you produce inclusively designed educational training materials. Are you aware of any of those guidelines? Yes, no, I don't know. Are there arrangements for accessible exams? Some students need extra time. Some students need note takers, depending on their information processing abilities. Are there guidelines? Are you aware of them? Okay, we're not.
No.
Okay. So we have around half the audience are aware that their institution has these guidelines. That's very interesting for us to know. Did you say we have to speed up?
No,
But we have enough time. We have enough time.
because this is very important for us.
This is incredibly important. So we think half of the institutions, you're aware of the guidelines. A third aren't aware of the guidelines, which is a large number. I guess the institutions might have guidelines, but they haven't been communicated to you. And around 10% just don't know it all. Next question. Are there really yearly audits of inclusive policies and practice at my university? No?
This is also something which is connected to the previous question. Well, if your institution does not have any policies that you are aware of, probably you would probably be not knowing about this as well. Okay, so this is something which is related to the previous question.
Okay.
Do you have value audit?
Yes.
Ranking related to this?
Yes. And for Athena's one as well. Okay. So then to you, we'll have a yearly audit of our practices. We have training schemes for students, for staff members, and again, especially around Athena's one as well. Yearly audits about how we have activities and are rewarded about promoting gender equality in all of our institutions, all the activities.
The result is
Yeah, but in Bangladesh, I don't know. Actually, from my knowledge, any institution actually they do audit. They have IT system, even IT system do not have any audit. So this is the inclusion policy and practices. So I don't really, there is something.
So we would like to request the people who have replied as yes, okay? We would like to understand that which kind of audits there are, which kind of discussions are being made, okay? So we'd like to invite those people, okay? If they want to, okay, after the session probably will come and please identify yourself to us. We would like to understand a little bit more that how can we possibly to facilitate those processes even further, because as David mentioned, that at Nottingham Trent University, there are a number of different policies which are in place, which takes place annually to facilitate the state of the inclusive material design and training and all these things which happens annually, so we can share our best practices to even improve the existing practices within the organization. Okay, so all those who have presented or who have responded as yes, please come and see us as well.
Thank you. So, next question. Are there checklists for evaluating the inclusivity of university facilities at my university? This could be accessible campuses. This could be accessible accommodation. I think this could also include accessible arrangements for exams. So quite a few of our students would have a declared statement that they have issues, say, with information processing due to things like conditions such as ADHD, and they'll get extra time in exams, in lectures, they get note takers.
And also alternative provisions, you know that well, there are certain students who potentially are slow in writing, okay? So do they get the opportunity to, for example, instead of writing, typing in their answers in a computer, for example, okay? So alternative provisions for examinations as well.
Okay, 36, 37 has given their answer already, so.
Okay, so around 18% think there are checklists for this. No's are 43 and don't know is 38. So it's still a picture where at the moment this is something, this information we can use to help emphasize the guidelines where this can happen with your institutions. Is there compulsory training on inclusion for administrators and faculty in my institution? So, at NTU, every year on Thrive, it's an online system. There are a number of courses we must take as members of staff on inclusion, on data protection, on safety of information, on supporting students with disabilities. And actually, if we don't take those courses in our yearly and half-yearly reviews, we are capped at a certain rating.
And this is something very serious.
It's very serious.
This is just to put a little bit onto the context that we know that well in a number of different universities annually there are performance reviews of the faculty members. Okay, so there are mandatory online courses available for the faculty members that they must review on an annual basis. So if someone is not completing those, this will be reflected in their annual performance that they're not meeting the mandatory requirements of the university. Okay, and this is something which would bring their performance slow down. Even if, let's say, they are brilliant teachers, but their compliance with the university policies would be bringing their performance down.
That's how it becomes
In our
mandatory.
university, there is, when teachers join, there is a mandatory training and 1 year session training. But after that, they don't, if there is a needed, then they can join the training and different session. But this is not mandatory. For 1 year, this is mandatory.
No.
So should I give yes for this?
Yeah.
Because it's a mandatory for
I
all
think
teachers.
we can include that at least as a, I
Yes.
would include it as yes.
At least you know about that. So.
Okay, so the majority not at the moment. Thank you.
And yeah, some still don't know. So some of these know and don't know basically helping us to promote these kind of activity even more, because we know there is a deep gray area or unknown zone. So that will definitely help us.
And this is something which will allow us to, probably liaise with the university administration, okay, to open discussions with them, to really, let's say that, well, encourage them to, let's say, include these within the university policies, because these are very important from the students' success point of view.
Okay, so next question is here.
Next question. Is there a policy or plan for inclusive education in normal times and crisis times? When this happened, when the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic happened at Trent, it accelerated vastly all the training for staff in inclusive education. There are huge amounts of guidelines. We were all contacted. We were all shown some